Do you ever wonder if you can escape your car finance deal early? I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about dealing with car finance companies and potentially getting out of your contract. Car finance, as the term implies, is a method of spreading your vehicle payments over a period of time, which sounds great. But remember, until all the repayments are made, you don't officially own the car. There are two common types of car finance agreements. They're personal contract purchase, or PCP for short, and hire purchase, which is HP for short. Now, it's crucial to remember that until all the repayments are made, the car is legally owned by the finance provider. Just signed a car finance agreement and change your mind? Well, don't worry. You can get out of the agreement within the first 14 days, thanks to the cooling off period. But what if you're halfway through your agreement and you want to quit? Well, here comes the voluntary termination clause. Now, according to the Consumer Credit Act, you can terminate your agreement early if you've paid off at least half of its total value. If you're wondering how much you've paid off, you can just give the finance company a call and they'll run through the numbers with you. Now, before you go ahead and voluntarily terminate, remember, it could negatively affect your credit score. It's definitely a route to consider if you're struggling with payments or maybe you found a better deal elsewhere. Are you thinking of selling your car before paying off all the debt? Wait right there. Selling a car on finance is illegal as the finance company owns a vehicle until all the payments are made. There are options available to you, but that isn't one of them. At this point, it isn't yours to sell. Let's go into more detail about PCP and HP. With PCP, you put down a deposit, make regular monthly payments, and at the end of the term, you've got a few options. You can make a final payment to own the car outright, use your vehicle's equity for a new car financing agreement, or return the car and walk away from the agreement. With a HP agreement, you pay monthly instalments to hire the vehicle, and once all the payments have been made, then you own the car. Sometimes there's a transfer fee to pay. Ever wondered what happens if your finance car gets written off or damaged in a crash? The financing company will typically offer a settlement figure equal to the vehicle's market value pre-accident, which should be covered by your insurance. However, make sure that you adhere to any terms from your PCP or HP company for repairs. So, how do you get out of your car finance agreement early? Well, you can either voluntarily terminate the agreement like I talked about before, or you can make an early settlement offer. Voluntary termination is when you've paid at least 50% of the credit agreement and you decide to give the car back. Now, this is important. Keep in mind that you won't get back any money you've paid. You've got to take into consideration the car's condition and how many miles it's done as well. Now, all of this matters. To avoid any disputes, take photos of your car before returning it. But why would you want to terminate early? Well, sometimes finances change and you can't keep up with the repayments. Rather than falling into arrears and accruing more debt, it can be wiser to cut your losses. Alternatively, you might have found a better deal elsewhere. If your finances are in better shape than you expected, you might consider settling your car finance early. You can do this by asking the lender for a settlement figure to purchase the car outright before the end of the contract. However, it might lead to early settlement fees and could also affect your credit score. Car finance agreements can be a bit tricky, and sometimes the need to exit them early is inevitable. It's really important to know your rights and carefully weigh up your options. Remember, you don't want to exchange one financial hurdle for another. And if you found that you're getting a bit bogged down by your finances and you found yourself in debt, then you may want to look into debt solutions. The key to finding the right one all depends on your personal circumstances. Now, some of them can write off some or all of the debt, and others can lower your monthly repayments. If you want to look into which one could be right for you, I'll leave a link to a form just below this video. It'll ask you a handful of questions like how much money do you owe and how many people do you owe? And then at the end of the form, it'll connect you to a company that I've partnered with who will advise you about the best solution for you. So click the form below and let me know how you get on.